The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us this morning. This is Matt Tour. I'm a marketing rep here at Insurance Agency Marketing. We'll be joined shortly by Dustin Carlson, a senior internal wholesaler at Fidelity and Guarantee. We're glad to have Dustin joining us this morning. He's going to go over some really good information on a couple new plans that F&G has recently introduced here in the marketplace on their index side of the business. So he'll be going through some slides on that. We're going to try to keep this morning to about a half an hour in duration and see if we can't get through this as quickly as possible. If you do have any questions along the way, be sure to get those typed in. We'd be glad to get those answered as we're going through the presentation and be able to help you out. And then I also will make calls to everyone that was on today's webinar, and we'll be glad to go over some details on items that we covered during the webinar itself. So we'll go ahead and get started. We do offer our referral program here through IMES. You can refer agents to IMES. We'll go ahead and get them set up underneath you. You'll get a 20 basis point override on their business. Really great way to add some additional funds into your account. We also have our market reimbursement. We reimburse $100 for every $100,000 of premium on the indexed annuity side of the business. So it's a great way to build up a advertising budget. So we'd be glad to help you out with that. I know we send out some pretty sizable checks on both those sides every year, actually every month, and it's a good way for you to get some additional income based on referrals. And of course, we help with your advertising if you're doing seminars or you're doing mailings or email blasts or social media content. We'd be glad to help you out those costs. So a good way to get going on that end. We also have our new producer builders, a good way to earn some additional incentives based on your production the first 90 days being licensed with IMES. We have 3 different levels of qualification: a $100,000 level, a $300,000 level, and a $500,000 level. I know we've got that Ritz-Carlton travel package. I've had some agents use that, been very impressed with that. We have our market reimbursement account there on the $300,000 level. We got the iPad, we got the cash on the $100,000 level. So good way for you to get started with IMES and earn some nice incentives along the way. So definitely keep those handy. We got a great back office support team here. We've got a great new business team, a great creative team that can help you out with creating new forms, you're changing your company logo. If you want to do an email campaign, a social media campaign, they can really help you out with all those items. You can speak to any of our marketers in the office here on the annuity or life side. Be glad to help you out with any quotes you may need. Help you through a case design on a specific case. Maybe you're looking for some quotes. It just depends what you're needing. We'd be glad to get you taken care of on that end. We also have our paperless contracting. You're able to get licensed with any number of our companies based on doing them online, and that way you can check off which companies you want to represent. You can get licensed with a number of carriers at one time. Really helps with the paper aspect of it. Really cuts back on what you need to do on your end. So a great feature we have through our contract department here at IMES. As I mentioned, we have our creative team here. They help you out with any design you need to be doing on your end to help your business out. Maybe you want to do a logo design. Maybe you want to do a stationery. They help with social media. I know we've seen a big increase in the use of that media side of it. We also can help with emails. Maybe you want to do a website development for yourself and your company. They can help guide you along on all those situations. We have 3 great individuals on that side. We've got Sean, we got Jacob, we got Aaron, and they'd all be more than happy to help you out with that side of the business. So definitely keep that in mind. We do have our own website here at IMES. It's been in play here for a number of years. You can pull information off that if you need supplies, if you want to do some quotes, maybe you want to look up a link for a state office or tax information. We've got a lot of great links that are right online you can pull up and be able to utilize. Of course, we keep our current annuity grid on there. You can pull up with current annuity rates. Maybe you want to look at a income comparison. We have a great income comparison software. You can compare the best payouts based on your client's needs. We also have a term quoter. You can find the best term rates based on all of our carriers, based on your client's health, the duration, what looking for term insurance wise. We're glad to get that taken care of for you. And then, of course, you need forms online to write business. A lot of our companies have forms available through our internet site, and a great tool to use in order to be able to be ready for your clients when you're getting to meet them. So those are all available on the IAMS website. We have our software program we have available to you as a third party. It's called the Retirement Analyzer, and it's a really good system that's been put together to help with presentations for you as an agent out there with clients. You can go over their current financials, figure out where their shortcomings are, point out maybe they need to do some more savings the next 5-6 years before they retire. They're trying to hit a certain level of income. You can go ahead and show them what kind of funds they need to have saved to hit those levels. And you can go over some different economic situations, maybe like stock market corrections, maybe a stay in a nursing home, maybe premature death on one of the spouses. You can plug all that information in, and it's going to kick out some really valuable information to you as an agent. You could use in your presentation to clients. Really colorful pieces. It's a great pie charts, graphs, charts with numbers. Has a lot of good information there you can utilize with clients. So Marcus in the office is the best person to talk to on that end. He'd be a great contact for you on that side, and definitely take advantage of that situation. We do have our wealth management team. We've been working in this market here the last couple 3 years. I know that we've got a great program put together on that side. You can utilize different investment platforms. If you do have interest in getting started on the wealth management side, we can help you out with your Series 65 test. I just launched a quick little poll here. If you have interest in speaking to one of our reps on that side, I can hook you up with Mike or Charles Jr. They'd be glad to go over the programs available on the wealth management side of the market. I know we've seen a pretty drastic increase in funds under management this year. The market's been doing really well. We've got more people involved on that side of it, and we get more people taking the test every day. And it's really good when we're dealing with clients so you can handle both the security side and the insurance side, and that way you're not referring a client over to somebody else. They help the client out, and all of a sudden you lose that client because you referred them to somebody else, and that's the worst thing that can happen to you as an agent. You want to keep as much business under your wing as possible, and having your Series 65 really will help that side of the business for you. But we do see a good group of agents have been getting more business in on the annuity end, just because they do have that Series 65. They're able to get in front of more clients. They're doing seminars. They can help them out with both sides of the business, and really it's a nice tool to have in your pocket there. I'm going to leave this open for about another 20 seconds. If you do have interest in speaking to one of our reps on that side, definitely mark off yes. We'd be glad to get you in touch with one of our individuals on the wealth management team, and they'd be glad to go over that with you. So I'll go ahead and get that closed up here. We do have our Life and Annuity Academies. We do have one coming up in September, and I know we put these on about once a quarter. And if you do have interest in coming out to one of our meetings, I'll be making contact with everyone here at the end of the webinar, and we can go ahead and go over details with you on that. It's coming up to September the 18th or the 20th. We're going to hold that in Des Moines. And we do have really good presenters coming in. We've got some of our top selling agents kind of going over what they do in the field. A couple of them do seminars that go over their programs with you, something you can purchase from them based on what they have available. We'll also have our annuity sales coach will come in and give some great ideas on creating more contacts, be able to get into more homes, closing more contacts, Really a good round robin situation there for you on the sales side of it. We also go over some life insurance information, work on large life cases, go over some wealth transfer tools, go over some software. I mean, really, it's a good 2.5 day meeting. To be fly in on a Wednesday afternoon. The meeting starts Wednesday evening, goes through Thursday into Friday morning, and then you fly back out Friday afternoon. So really a good turnkey system on that meeting, and I'll be contacting you down the road based on that situation. Well, I do appreciate everyone being on this morning. I'm going to go ahead and switch over the controls to Dustin. Dustin will be going into some details on some of the programs that Fidelity Guarantee has now. They've got a great couple new programs they've recently introduced. I know our business with F&G is way up this year. They've been very aggressive on their rates, really good on their suitability, really a good company to work with. So at this point, we're going to bring on Dustin. Hey, good morning, Dustin.
Good morning, Matt. How you doing?
Doing fantastic. I'm glad you could join me today and go over some of the finer details that Fidelity Guarantee has going forward here.
Yep, I will try to fit it all in the next 18 minutes. We'll see how I do. Going back to your...
I'm going to go ahead and set the timer for you right now, Dustin, and see if we can, get this baby worked out.
Yeah, please do.
All right.
Hopefully you do better at that than your golf game. But
that's exactly
anyways,
hopefully my presentation was better than my golf game was last night.
But going back to your increase in production, you guys are up 40% with us this year. So, those on the phone that are already producing with IAMS and with F&G, thank you so much for the partnership. I know working with Matt and the IAMS team there is a really smooth process from a carrier perspective, and I'm sure it's the same on the agent side. And, the retirement analyzer tool, I used to use that as well, and it's great for helping close sales, so definitely reach out to Matt on that.
That's good, because I thought you were going to say it's a big grind working with us, but I'm glad it's going smooth.
No, it is pretty smooth. You guys have a good operation over there, so really appreciate that. And obviously, it shows in your numbers. We have a great partnership with you guys. So, I guess for the people on the phone here, here's well, let's see if the button works. There we go. Finally, the agenda. We'll do a quick introduction. If you haven't seen us for a while or have never seen us, and then obviously go over our perks, briefly go over some product, couple of sales concepts, and talk about what it's like to do to go through our suitability process. And we've actually redid that in May, so it's already easy enough, but now it's even easier. And I'll show you a couple of ways to make sure your cases make it through suitability. So if you weren't aware, we have our A- rating upgrade, and this is a piece that you can put in front of your clients as well. It talks about our company history, our financials, at least for 2018, our partnership with Blackstone. We have two of the founders of our company, Chin Chu and Bill Foley, were employees at Blackstone. They helped build their portfolio, really grow that business for Blackstone, and then went out on their own, purchased Fidelity and Guarantee, took us public, and we are now FGL Life on the New York Stock Exchange. You can follow us at our ticker symbol, I believe, is FG. But those two chairmen, they own 20% of our company, and Blackstone, the world's largest alternative asset manager, owns another 20%, and then the other 60% is publicly traded on the stock market. And I guess what that means to you and your clients, the fact that we have Blackstone backing us up, similar to, let's say, an Apollo and Athene. Blackstone has double the assets under management that Apollo has, so we were able to optimize our portfolio with their investment strategies, and really we're not paying a third party to invest our money anymore, so we're pouring that back into the product and commissions as much as possible. with that A- rating upgrade and new ownership, we felt like we needed to get out of the pool of blue and red and kind of create our own path with some of our marketing here. So we went with Vikings colors, Lakers colors, LSU colors. We've heard that before too, but this has definitely grown on me, and I think you'll appreciate it when you put these brochures in front of your clients. It's a simplified story. Before, we used to hide bonuses and the selling aspects of the product. Now it's out there for the client to see. So I think you'd really appreciate these brochures, and Matt can hook you up with those if you reach out to him. So I'd like to start off with the perks. We have our Power Producer program, and it's a deferred comp plan. Now, this is similar to other companies that you may have had these with before. Ours has been in place since 2011 and is a long-term initiative of ours. We kept it through the Department of Labor era, I guess you could call it, and are going to continue it for quite some time. So the gist of it, I'll try to give you a very high-level overview. It's based upon production. To get your first credit is $1.75 million of FIA business during a calendar year. So the power of the program is a persistency credit that we apply to it. So in this example, you can see in year one, this producer did the minimum of $1.75 million, and that credit to their deferred comp account was worth $37.50. Now, as long as that business stays on the books in subsequent years, each year we will pay you for that business again. So as you can see here, that $37.50 is in year 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6th year, you're 100% invested in the program. In year 4, the credit is worth $4,000. So the credit is basically based upon our performance. It can be anywhere between $3,000 and $5,000. So in this illustration, we showed you a couple different numbers, $37.50 and $4,000. But as you can see in this example, with that persistency credit and doing the 1.75 each year for 6 years, you're going to have $80,000 in your deferred comp account. And then on the back end of that, we're depositing that each year into a principal financial group administered account so that you can earn interest on that account. And I do have a screenshot here of our calculator for Power Producer, and Matt actually has this in his inbox right now, so he'll be following up with this, and you can reach out to him to get a copy as well. But essentially, you type in the number that you think you can do with F&G and see how that corresponds into guaranteed numbers and hypothetical numbers, almost like the illustrations that you run for clients on income riders, right? In this example, this agent did enough to earn 1.5 credits each year. They're earning a 6% interest rate at Principal Financial Group, and that credit value, is $4,000. So at the end of 10 years, they have a guaranteed contribution of $330,000. And then on the hypothetical end, with that 6% interest added in, you're looking at nearly $400,000 in a deferred comp plan for you and your retirement. So we feel it's a great way for us to take care of you and your loyalty, to us for your own retirement.
Those are some nice numbers there.
Well, thank you, Matt. Yeah, I think this is definitely something that I hear about all the time. What is my credit? What's my balance look like? Where am I tracking for this year on my credits? So the agents that are in it right now love it. And we've actually created 28 millionaires since 2011. So this is a strong program if you're looking for a way to supplement your own retirement. We do have a trip every year based upon 2019 production calendar year. We are going to Four Seasons property in Costa Rica, and I've heard nothing but great things about this property. We were in Mexico last year at their Four Seasons property. It was awesome, but apparently this is even better. So minimum qualification is $3.5 million of FIA. We do incentivize the life side. So if you're writing life premium with us, basically, instead of every dollar for dollar, like on the annuity, it's dollar for 15 points on the life side. Now I'm on this timer, so bear with me here, and any more details that you're going to need on product is definitely something in Matt's wheelhouse, so please reach out to him. We could always do a conference call as well with me. But high-level overview, we have something for everyone. You know, when I was at a local IMO prior to working here, I was a marketer, and I always considered F&G the Swiss Army knife of carriers. Basically, we have products for every niche that you could possibly come across, except for taking income in the first year. You got to wait at least a year to take income with us. But other than that, we really have product for everyone, including accumulation, some of the best guaranteed income in the industry, as well as performance-driven income. I'll talk about just a couple products today, but I wanted to mention our Barclays Trailblazer Sectors 5. This has been the #1 performing index year to date over the past few weeks. So if you take a look here, this is the general idea. It's a low volatility index, just like other carriers have. But that lighter blue line you see is its performance back tested to 2003. Real numbers you can see started halfway in December 2016. So it has been in force for almost 3 years now. So we're not participating in the low lows, and we're not catching all the high highs, which is great for you as an advisor, so you don't have egg on your face when you go to open that annual statement and sit there with your client and go over their account. You know that Barclays is aiming between a 4% and 7% return on an annual basis. Now, it is a 2-year index, and I'll show you in subsequent slides the performance that we've had since 2017. And, you know, this past week, we get this report on a weekly basis, and I can send this out to you, Matt. I know I normally do on Mondays, but if you need it again, I'll go ahead and send it your way. But
sure.
Year-to-date return on this thing is 10.37. The 2-year look back, which are real numbers, is 9.75. If you pair that with our accumulator or accelerator product, the accumulator right now has 140% participation in this index. So in that real 2-year look back, that customer would have received, you know, nearly 14%. Now that's not necessarily the goal of this index. It's just how the low volatility has performed in the current marketplace. So we're not trying to hit home runs. I guess this may be a home run. We're trying to hit singles, doubles, and maybe some triples. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's a huge return right now. That's better than the S&P index is doing almost.
Yeah. I mean, we're very proud of it, obviously, and you know, as a sales team, we don't necessarily promote the idea of showing 100% on illustrations put into this allocation because it does show well. I know other carriers out there, you know, promote that. You know, that is not what we're about. We're about providing consistent and reasonable returns for your customer, and I think, you know, that's what they're looking for inside at least an annuity allocation.
I just launched a little poll here for people that want to get more information on the F&G, so people can start answering that here as soon as they can. And then those are new accumulator plans. Those just came out in the last few months, didn't they, Dustin?
Well, the accumulator's been around for a little over a year now. Same thing with the accelerator. They're kind of sister products. One is built for just accumulation. The other is performing income.
Okay.
They both have the Barclays built into them. And I'll touch briefly on that in the next couple slides. But just know this, this came out just yesterday. I got this report, and I couldn't show you the policy numbers for obvious reasons or the agent codes or anything like that.
Right.
But these are real numbers. So we're going back 2 years, you know, April 2017. Now, we do have the ability to put a spread on this index, but know that the minimum participation rate in the index is 100%. So when we initially came out with this product, we were putting a spread on it, but those 2-year renewals do not have a spread.
Nice.
and they're still renewing at that 100%.
Are those
And then
people
you can
making,
see it.
pretty close to 9% return then based on that?
Yeah. So if you look at the slide to the right on the right there, that heat map.
Yeah, let me go back. I'm gonna take this poll off here in about 20 seconds. So if you do want to get some more information on F&G, just check off yes, and I'll go ahead and send you a package on that. I'll give you a call, verify kind of what you're looking for on accumulation side or income side. They've got some plans that really specialize on both ends. But we've seen a big increase lately in just pure accumulation. A lot less people looking for that income side of it, and really focusing on the accumulation side. So it's really been a big play as of late. So I'm going to go ahead and close this up in about 10 seconds. So if you have any information you want from us, just click off yes, and I'll go ahead and get that out to you.
Yeah, Matt, to piggyback on what you said there, we're seeing that as well. Some accumulation versus income, and one of the strategies that some of the most successful advisors that I work with are using are, actually peeling out their income from the accumulation, because typically accumulation products have higher caps and rates, and over time build higher account values. Mm-hmm. So, since you're in an annuity, you're getting rid of sequence of return risk anyways. So they're peeling out their 2.5% or 4%, whatever withdrawal rate that they have for that particular customer out of an accumulation annuity. So that's a great point to make.
Sure.
Now, is this screen up here on the renewals?
It's up now.
Okay. So as you can see here, this is a fresh report from last night or this morning. Initially, when we had this out, we did have a spread on it. We haven't since June 2017 up until this date. We have the option of doing it. The minimum par is 100%. So this is really going to help you out with your accumulation story. But I wanted to show you from a renewal perspective that those policies taken out back in June 2017 are renewing with no spread and still at 100% par. So really strong story to be able to tell your customers, not only am I putting you in this index today, but when this renews 2 years down the road, they have some renewal integrity at F&G. And on that graph on the right, that's a heat map showing performance in the Barclays over that 2-year period. So as you can see, the green there, that is the top performing index that we had. And as you can see, the Barclays was the top performing index. And those are real numbers over a 2-year period.
Yeah, those are strong.
Definitely. And that's why we're seeing such an uptick in these newer products that we have that are associated with Barclays. And you pair it with the Barclays, and it's a win-win. So Accumulator Plus, I know we're running short on time. There's a 7-year and a 10-year version. We do have flexible crediting options, including the Barclays. We do have a home health care waiver, just like your terminal illness waiver, nursing home waiver. The customer doesn't necessarily have to go into confinement to get this benefit with our company, which could be a big selling point with your customer over other competitors or competitive agents that are out there seeking the same customer. You can offer them a home health care waiver. So after the first year, if they cannot perform 206 ADLs, get a doctor's note, send that into us. They can get full accumulation value with no MBA or surrender charge. Here are the current rates. Obviously, all of us carriers are suffering from the inverted yield curve. So you've seen our S&P caps that are directly correlated to that curve go down precipitously. But I would tell you that the Barclays has not adjusted whatsoever for us during that time period. So as you can see towards the right-hand side, Barclays Trailblazer 2-year point-to-point. You see 130 in the 7-year and 140 in the 10. But you also see 150 and 160. And what that is, the customers can buy up higher caps and participation rates amongst most of our index allocation options. So if you need more information on how to buy up and what that fee is, feel free to reach out to Matt. Illustrated rate right now is 7.48 without buying up or paying the fee with the Barclays. If any of you are selling on illustrated rate, so that's a pretty strong rate in my opinion. The highest we can get in the highest 10-year period is 8.44. Here's our performing income. Now this also has the Barclays. It's a low fee at 90 bips. And the reason that your customers can benefit from this is we're really trying to build up the accumulation or cash value, and then we're going to multiply that by a performance multiplier. So you're stacking the accumulation value with this performance multiplier. And I know there's a ton of columns on this illustration. That's why I boxed off 4 particular numbers that you need to pay attention to. The account value, you see I've put in 159,792. The reason that we were able to do that is we dumped in $100,000 at the age of 60, turned on income at age 71, 10 years later. So we've built up that account value with the high caps and rates in the Barclays. We've created that account value of nearly $160,000. Now skip over to the next box, the performance multiplier. If you look at year 1 of the contract, you can see that that starts out at 5% and grows at 5% per year up to 50%. What we're doing is we're taking that account value times that multiplier, so 160,000 times 150%, and we're creating that income base of 265,142. And that last box is that client's payment. As you can see, we're multiplying it by a payout factor to create $14,583 in a year. And oh, by the way, our 2 of 6 ADL doubler would give the client $30,000 a year.
That's good.
It's as simple as I can make it in a short amount of time, Matt. So if there's anybody that has any questions on that product, Matt could probably do a better job of explaining it than me, but reach out to him for
quick
details.
question. You go back to that last slide. So the account value went from 176 down to 159. That's due to the 14,583 coming out plus the fee, correct?
Yeah, you know what? I'm sorry, Matt. You are correct. Our illustration software does show it that way. So we actually took income in the 10th year, so the balance was 176,000, but they're showing that balance of 265 in the income base, and that payment coming out of 14,583 off of the 176 number. Yeah, thank you for clarifying that.
Yep. So it all looks good to me.
Yeah, well, and as an added, the allocations or the account value continues to grow in the allocations that you choose. So you can kind of see that an account value stays afloat a lot longer than it normally would if it weren't getting those index returns from the Barclays, which also doubles as your death benefit in this particular product.
Sure.
This will probably be one of the last things I talk about due to the limited amount of time, but we do have a 2 of 6 ADL doubler, which is, there's a couple of our competitors that have this, but I think it is a competitive advantage, especially in the state of California, where hardly any company has a true income doubler established in that state. But if the client cannot perform 2 of 6 activities of daily living after the 3rd year of the contract, they can have double the income for as long as there is cash value in the contract. What's important to note is that we're not capping that at 5 years as most of our carrier competitors do, so that that will stay afloat a lot longer, or could. I've ran some illustrations at 10, 11, 12 years that they'd get double the income.
And it is available in California. Just had a question on that. So that plan is available in California with the 2 of 6 ADL doubler.
Yeah, well, one of our power producers that's writing, $5+ million just with us, loves our doubler because it is available in California. So if he's ever in a competitive situation, and he may not even know that he's in a competitive situation, let's say he gets blindsided, the customer was shopping him, well, he can go in there and say, you can literally get double your income with 2 of 6 ADLs, or if you run into a health scare, you can definitely get double the income and kind of, not to mention stay in your own home, right? They don't have to be confined like our competitors do. So I feel like that's a huge advantage for you going into a client meeting, being able to tell them, hey, you run into this health risk, you're going to be able to have not only double the income payment, but you're going to probably be able to stay in your own home because we're hedging those costs.
Exactly. Great combination.
Definitely. And those same participation rates, well, not same participation rates, but the Barclays, the same index is available, just, 10, 20 basis points less in this product, but not too far off. So really building that cash value to turn on income later and multiplying it by that performance multiplier. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention our Safe Income Plus. This is a guaranteed income product, an alternative to a pension. If some of you are out there writing alternative pension type plans for federal employees or whatever it may be, this is a great option for you. 7% bonus, 7% compounding roll up. We are not age banding the payout factors. They grow every year, and it's daily crediting. So your customer won't have to go back to the previous anniversary's value. They can actually get all of the accumulation value in that income base throughout the year. Couple of quick things on suitability. We do have a website suitability tool, so if you go out there and you know the client's full financial situation, go in and fill like 8 to 10 fields out. It'll tell you if we'll absolutely reject it or go ahead and submit the application. The only line in the sand that we have for submitting business to us is that contract that you would be replacing from another annuity carrier needs to be enforced for at least 36 months, okay, 3 years on those replacements with us, and that does include penalty-free withdrawals. So, I get asked the question, what type of surrender charge would you take? It used to be 5% with us. We've actually gotten rid of that rule in May. We will take a look at just about any surrender charge that comes our way, as long as that policy has been enforced for 36 months. So that may win you some business right there. Also, liquid assets, you can see those guidelines right there. We are a little bit flexible on those guidelines. So if you do run into a situation where you're over 50% of liquid assets on somebody that's 65 or older, give me a call, give Matt a call, and we can work with our suitability team to see if it's something we can get comfortable with. And Matt, I had some pretty sweet sales ideas for everybody, but we've ran out of time and actually overtime. So I'll just flip through these as I'm closing. If you do, anybody on the phone want these, please reach out to Matt. He will get these to you. This is one of my favorites to do in a client presentation. Sell an annuity without even saying the word annuity. In-service distribution. I could teach you how to recruit people on prospects on LinkedIn, get a list of employers, a list of their employees, and a direct way to contact them. And oh, by the way, a potential warm introduction, and all for free. It's a great way to prospect for new customers for free. Reach out to Matt for that. And Matt, I think with that, I will get out of your hair here, but thank you everyone for your time. I really appreciate it. IAMS is a great partner of ours. They do an amazing job. So can't say thank you enough for the record year you're having with us.
Hey, appreciate that, Dustin. And I know that you guys have had a great year, a great year this year, and look forward to a strong close, the next 5 months. But ownership of the company, I know that you guys were up for sale there for a while and kind of have converted over to this situation you're in now with the that ownership with Blackstone. And I know a question came up regarding the Chinese ownership. I know that did not go through. So this is a U.S.-based company, and ownership is U.S.-based. Is that correct, Dustin?
Yeah, that came up on this call.
It did.
I get that question pretty much on a weekly basis, Matt, so I do not take offense to that question whatsoever, but it is surprising because there was so much out there about Onbang trying to buy us. That did not happen, and I think the board of directors was extremely excited that it actually didn't happen and that we are U.S. owned, publicly traded, and we're very proud of that.
Well, good. and everything's in place moving forward. So we'll look forward to some more good news from F&G here the next few months. I know with that increased rating to an A-, that's going to help the cause. And you guys also have the suite of rate guarantee contracts. You have a 5-year and a 7-year, correct, on a rate guarantee?
Yeah, we have a 3, 5, and 7. The rates are 2.75 on the 3, 3.2 on the 5, and 3.3 on the 7.
Good. And those are all e-apps, so an agent will go online and get those complete on the e-app, and then get all that done via that.
Yep, they are e-app, and I'll tell you, Matt, it is a pretty easy process. We do have step-by-step instructions with screenshots, and if that's still not good enough, they can call into our 800 number and have somebody walk them through the process. What I would suggest is doing a trial on your own, maybe on yourself prior to, or having it all pre-filled by the time the customer shows up, so it's even that much easier for everyone involved.
Sure, that's good. Well, I appreciate your time this morning, Dustin. It's always a pleasure to have you on board on these webinars, and we look forward to a good end of the summer here. And we look forward to some good production here moving forward with Fidelity and Guarantee. And as I mentioned earlier, I'll be calling everyone that was on today's call and go over any details you have questions on, get the latest details out to you on rates, products, brochures, whatever you may need on the F&G side. We'll get that taken care of. Otherwise, everyone have a great week and enjoy your end of summer. And we'll look forward to a great fall coming up and a good end of 2019 on business. So everyone have a good week, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Dustin.
Thanks, Matt. Take care.
All right.